with, Bill Gates talking about, David Sengeh, how he's using prosthetic limbs and data science to help Sierra Leone. I'm really going to go into this because, we want to see things like these, but if it's factual, then we don't have a problem. If it is not factual, don't put it out here. And that is the challenge that I'm going to throw to Bill Gates, because he has this article that he writes every now and again. The sky's the limit, Gates notes. And he picks up on this and says how David Sengeh is using prosthetic limbs. So I want to get into where is the data to support this, right? I want to see, because we know David Sengeh is good with Facebook. He would have posted how many people he have given, provided prosthetic limbs for. Guys, so that is the point. I want to understand this, because when I saw this, somebody shared with me, we just have to ask these questions. I don't know if Bill Gates even understands that David Sengeh is the Minister of Education. Maybe he knows, and I'm sure he knows because I read the article, right? But I'm just saying, this article has to be challenged. I'm not going to say it's a lie, but it has to be challenged. We have to show the evidence. It has to be backed up for us to take this for a fact. For now, this is not a fact. Bill Gates wrote this article on the 7th of, which is yesterday. Yes. On the 7th, he wrote this article. Let me share with you guys. He wrote this article about David Sengeh, how David Sengeh is using prosthetic limbs and data science to help Sierra Leone. This is Bill Gates' article. So I think we have to share this with Bill Gates, because I want the facts. I don't know about you guys out there. I don't know about other Sierra Leoneans, right? But I want to see the fact. David Sengeh is good with social media propaganda. If David Sengeh had helped anyone in Sierra Leone with a prosthetic limb, I've been telling you guys, this man a prosthetic leg, you go study. I don't tell you now, over and over and over. This man has no experience when it comes to, curriculum, when it comes to syllabuses, when it comes to administration of education. This Babona school, he don't know why run go school, go get PhD in prosthetic legs. They can make a minister of education. So he has no idea of what to do. But when Bill Gates and people like those go out there and write article like this is how they launder the image of these guys. Does Bill Gates know about the teachers not getting paid in Sierra Leone? Does Bill Gates know that subsidies are not being paid in Sierra Leone at this particular point? But let's not even go to that, right? On the basis of this article, just on the basis of this article, where is the evidence? We want the evidence. Bill Gates, I'm going to challenge you, Mr. Bill Gates. You've done a lot for African people. I'm not talking about the vaccines. But your foundation, you've provided a lot of resources for Africans, in other parts of the world. You do a phenomenal work when it comes to your philanthropy. That is beautiful. I'm not taking that away from you. But on the basis of this title of your text, you have to provide us the detail. You have to provide us the detail. Otherwise, I will be forced to take action and write something somewhere to somebody in the United States for us to have clarification on this particular topic. Bill Gates has to clarify this point. We want to see the prosthetic legs that David Sengeh has provided to help Sierra Leone. Because it was one thing. This is how these guys come to the international community, hide and talk about how they really care about their people. They want to help them. This is why I need this PhD. I'm going to study prosthetic legs. It is in the article. It is right here. I can board it up for you guys.
Ibrahim, the interesting thing, Let's go back to the root of these things, and I understand that Bill Gates has to take responsibility for his statements and for this article. He has to take responsibility for it, because basically, he's too big for him to just take words like word of mouth and say, yes, this is what's going on in Africa. You should do your investigation. However, where he is sitting right now, he has never been to Sierra Leone. I want to believe that. My history. I know he's been to Africa, but he has never been to Sierra Leone. Where did he get this information from? And this is what we should know. If we go back to the MCC days, when they wrote this, they gave us this wonderful scorecards and stuff like that. Where did they get this information from?
Absolutely.
They got it from the very Sierra Leoneans right in the country. So you see, sometimes, let's go back to the institution. And the very institution we're at the talk about now, it's Parliament. If Parliament has been, preaching against the failings of this minister, we studied prosthetic leg, they go about, and if you look, what's it happen, it go to a school where they do sciences. When a Prince of Wales,
right?
That's the school where they actually go to. Because these guys, they're very strategic in their propaganda. They know what they are doing, Ibrahim. I'm telling you. Because, you see, it is so clear that, first of all, like this thing where Bill Gates all right, so they get for get millions of dollars in grant and donation. They get for use this for go bigger all over the world because it is Bill Gates that has said it. You know, Ibrahim, when people, even today, you know, like, I mean, wise man they get been boarded in a farm, you know, like something just pop up like the screen. Today, they give IMF approve $600 million to Tanzania. 600 million. The reason why IMF they give Tanzania this kind of money in loan, not to grant on a loan.
Wow.
Because they have confidence in IMF. Salon, one day, the highest way IMF don't give we since this government came into power, now 143 million. Waiting them be allocated to Salon was 286 million, I think.
Right.
They only gave us half of it. This is Tanzania. They're not even, imagine after all this, they recently give them $600 million. Then they give them for help the economy. And it's a loan because they trust them. These guys, they're going to use this Bill Gates article now, go all over the world to be like asking for money and say, you see, this is what we're doing great. Because these guys are very good. Remember, like in the African Express, we talked about like they pay like a media agency in London, in the UK.
Right.
We kind of like help them for propagate the messages.
Right.
So I'm not surprised that they're getting all these things. And this is what they want to do. Over to you.
Thank you. So you know, I don't know if Bill Gates understands that, you know, this article is a flat out lie in the very first place. This article is a lie, and we want some clarifications from Bill Gates because we don't know, like you said, where he got this information from. But we want to see the people that David Sengeh has provided prosthetic limbs for. When you go around the streets of Sierra Leone and Freetown today, you visit some of you know, these along the major routes, you know, the highways in Sierra Leone. You see the sufferings of our people. You know, across the country, in the capital city. This is not even in the villages, right? In the capital city, of people begging in the street. And these people are people that were affected by the rebel war. Peddlers across the streets of Freetown. They were affected by the rebel war, the same rebel war that the SRPP brought to power. They killed our people. And you see these peddlers. You know, you see these peddlers going up and down. And David Sengeh is there now with Bill Gates writing an article telling us that David Sengeh has been providing prosthetic legs. I would want to see these prosthetic legs. I want to see these prosthetic legs. But it's not there. It is not there. So we want the facts, we want the evidence. I'm not going to even belabor the point on this particular issue. Because the fact of the matter remains, Bill Gates should tell us, how is it that teachers are going in Sierra Leone? Teachers are not even getting paid. Because let's talk about what David Sengeh and others have been doing. Let's talk about these teachers. Let me show these videos on the screen so people can see what we're saying. David Sengeh is the Minister of Basic Education. This man is allocated over $1 trillion for educational budgets every year. But teachers are not getting paid. Watch this video.
Not afraid for talk, just talk. What's in the thing? Tell me. What's in the problem? I'll make you tell me.
Wait, it's not me. They count 950, so not the whole. That's 2,600,000.
My brother, you go tell me small thing about this issue.
Yeah, this issue has to happen. From day one where we don't care, we dey suffer for complete 8 days. On the day where they can't collect, they can't give you we transport allowance. The man openly the man where they pay services, we they can't get money about 2,100,000.
Okay.
Okay, this money they can't tell me say they don't pay na project way na 950. We debunk against that will be the rate. Now this TSC people they don't can't tell me say now na 450. Okay. So this is an insult on we profession. This is a direct nonsense on we that is that they want to play game on we, okay, of which we are not going to accept. We are trained and qualified. We are labor for our papers for more than 3-4 years in colleges, okay, and they are holding us here for more than 8 days. If they don't want trouble, they don't want problem, we are pleading that what they say, let them give us. Okay. If UNICEF will have or let them send in representative tomorrow. Okay. If they know that they are not paying all the 2,600,000, then let them not come along tomorrow. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. And we mean it. Okay, well, anything but it.
So the question for Bill Gates, does Bill Gates know these things? Bill Gates, we're going to get deep to the bottom of this because this article is a sham. And the people of Sierra Leone are demanding that you put this article down. There's a lot of other things that you can talk about, but this article is not factually based. It is a lie. It is propaganda. And hence, you're helping to wash the image of David Sengeh and launder his image internationally. And it's wrong. Because for all these teachers, for all the kids, when you look at all the schools in Sierra Leone, Bill Gates, if you travel the length and breadth of Sierra Leone, check the schools. The schools are all in dilapidated conditions. In the capital city of Freetown. This is not us, trying to say, okay, it's in the villages, it's in the small towns. I remember when you sat with, these people, and at the goalkeepers conference, when the President Bio told you about, I grew up in a small village where things were very difficult and this and that and all that nonsense. And this is what I'm going to do. Go to that school. Go to that village where this man is from. So Bill Gates, you have to take the time and travel the length and breadth of Sierra Leone to understand the problems that our people are going through before you come out here and make any comments and statements as such, like what you're saying about David Sengeh providing prosthetic limbs and data science to help Sierra Leone. Maybe he's talking about the Becker results. Dial this code or that code to and get your results. This is not what is bothering us. Those are cosmetic issues. The actual issues that people are suffering from, Bill Gates, it is real. People are suffering. So when you come out here and put an article up like this, it is a sham, it is a disgrace, and it's about time that we tell you the facts of what is actually happening on the ground. Come and travel. Bill Gates, let me share a video with you again so you can see what is happening. And David Sengeh is responsible for this. Watch this video, Bill Gates. These are the realities. When our schools are in dilapidated conditions, nothing has been done. And then you're coming here and washing the image. Totally, this is why I kept saying, Cashbox, if you remember, I kept saying David Sengeh should be in the Ministry of Health, heading the prosthetic limb division. It should be heading the prosthetic limb division. That is where it should be. There should be no Sierra Leonean roaming the streets of Sierra Leone without a leg. That is what David Sengeh should have been doing. That is what his PhD is for. This is a square peg in a round hole. They gave him this job. That is why he's all day he's on social media talking nonsense. But let me show this video for Bill Gates again because, guys, these things are fact. Go ahead, Cashbox.
Before you show the video, sorry. Let me think about this, just like, whilst we're talking about this. How David Sengeh kind of like they do two roles, basically helping with like this prosthetic leg and then being an education minister.
Right.
How is it really making that impact? Or are they trying to tell us it's got two roles? Or are they trying to say it's kind of like shadowing like the health minister? I do not understand. Like, how does it work?
So first of all, Cashbox, David Sengeh is Minister of Basic Education. He is also the director of the DSTI, the Directorate of of Sciences and Technology in Sierra Leone. It is a conflict of interest. It is wrong. It shouldn't have those two positions. It should focus on the Ministry of Education or stay as the Director of Science and Technologies in Sierra Leone. But because that is where the corruption lies. That is where the money is. Is the the page boy of the president in a way, right? These guys are laundering and just stealing the money. That is why teachers are not getting paid and all of that stuff. Absolutely. If David Sengeh is helping, what I'm saying is Bill Gates should show us the evidence. I want to see a Sierra Leonean in these recent times, because this article is very recent, that David Sengeh has provided prosthetic legs for. That is the basis. That is all I'm asking for.
That's when you say the evidence, Ibrahim. Well, I don't know if you see like a video or a picture of like an athlete, the Paralympics,
right?
We're going to represent Salone. Did you see it?
Right. But was there anywhere when David Sengeh should have capitalized on that? It should have been on Facebook all over the place.
Absolutely. David Sengeh should have provided, because I think it was like his arms that were cut off. David Sengeh should have provided like a false hand
Exactly.
for that guy we go on. Did he
Exactly.
do that? Because
Exactly.
these are kind of like people when they go represent with internationally. This is where you should display your knowledge of prosthetic legs, you know, or limbs.
Or limbs,
you know,
or whatever.
Do something. But this guy go represent. We saw people like there with different, we come on different countries, then they were using like false foot, false hand, and stuff like that. What did you do for this guy that represented us? You could have used that, your knowledge. But this now, waiting they're gonna go do, say if you don't take 10, don't go buy foods them for people. And Ibrahim, trust me, I guarantee you, Bill Gates must have seen something.
Right. Right.
I guarantee you.
But this is what I want to say. If he had seen something, look at the article in front of you guys. I want you guys to look at the article and tell me how the article, the title of the article, relates to the photo.
Yeah.
How does the title of the article relates to the photo that is on there? You see, there's a mismatch. That's how Bill Gates, you know you're wrong. Because your title of that article should have shown us a photo of David Sengeh presenting a limb to somebody or something that has to do with a limb. A prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
That is how you know this is wrong. This is a lie. And Bill Gates, you owe us an apology. The people of Sierra Leone are asking for an apology because this is a lie. There is no Sierra Leonean that David Sengeh that we know of until they provide the evidence. Because I know these guys are good with propaganda. It would have been on Facebook. Guys, go check his Facebook. David Moynihan's Facebook. Go check it right now. I promise you there is nothing but lies about education and all these texting codes to get the results. That is what you'll see. But you know, these are the things. Let me show this video to Bill Gates again. Like I said, these schools in Sierra Leone where kids are suffering. Let me show him. These are the schools. Matter of fact, let me put this picture up first. These are the schools that we have. Nothing has changed since David Sengeh became minister. Look at our schools, Bill Gates. And then you're putting an article like this to say this man is providing prosthetic limbs for people. When the picture, the photo and the article, there is a mismatch. There is no correlation. There is no connection between the photo and the title of your article. It is wrong. Show us the evidence. We are demanding the evidence. We are demanding the evidence. Let me show Bill Gates what is happening in Sierra Leone with our schools. So maybe Bill Gates can focus on education and forget about the prosthetic legs. Because that PhD is a sham. PhD is a sham. It is a sham at this point. It is nonsense. Look at this.
Yeah, Famulem Adena DC Private School Makoba for my content chiefdom for districts for do assessments on the preparation of the reopening of schools. Famula Sona they see picking them not get enough furniture at the school. Once they don't have grown for rights. Very, very much saddened. Because see just few picking that they will get access for get bench and desk for rights. Other hand, she don't have grown for rights. Just see whether they're able to do rights. How long they're going to be able to for rights. By the time school they off, the uniform don't know tea, then they get paid. So they call on the authorities to be concerned. For come and see this thing for themselves. And I believe this video what I don't do will serve as an evidence that indeed this school lack furniture and picking they really they suffer for access education at this part of the country. This now this primary school Makoba, where they now my content chiefdom for top of the street. As soon as very hard in girl beginning for that matter. When the government puts priority on girl child education, but they see a girl beginning and then they still not abroad for rights examination. Very, very much saddening. But they call on the authorities for stepping at least for every school with furniture so that then begin the able for strain and to get quality education.
You know, Bill Gates, what you're seeing here, this is a post from David Sengeh, this man who you say is providing prosthetic legs for Sierra Leoneans, right? Prosthetic limbs and data science to help Sierra Leone. 1 week ago, I visited a primary school. This is his Facebook page, guys. I'm not making this up. This is his Facebook page, June 15th. You guys please share this with Bill Gates. 1 week ago, I visited a primary school in the neighborhood where I grew up. The roof had been blown away. Attached photo. The priest and teachers of the school showed me around and asked what the ministry can do. I told them it would take longer to wait for government. I invited them to take church collections in the church. that's affiliated to the school and also ask parishioners to help. My father, who is a parishioner in the church, pledged zinc. I pledged to also contribute, not as a minister, but as a parishioner. This is your Minister of Education. And these, Bill Gates is going to write an article like the one he's writing here, telling us that David Sengeh is providing prosthetic limbs for Sierra Leoneans. What is the fact? We are asking Bill Gates to provide the fact. You can see that the photo does not even match the title. Whatever this boy fed Bill Gates for him to fall for this garbage, it's deceit. And I know, Bill Gates, you hate people that would lie to you. But show us the fact, show us the evidences, show us the Sierra Leoneans that have benefited from these prosthetic legs in Sierra Leone. Let us start. Bring the evidence forth. Every one of you, bring the evidence forth. We need the evidence. We need to see it. Otherwise, David Sengeh is a square peg in a round hole and does not know what he's doing. And that is why we have so much corruption in our country today. Teachers are not getting paid. Schools are dilapidated. I can show Bill Gates tons and tons of schools if that's what he wants to see. But I'm going to leave that topic. At least let's move on to the next subject. And we're going to talk about what's happening in Guinea-Conakry. And this is why, I broadcast boxing is a little bit late. But we're going to show you guys what is actually happening in Guinea-Conakry, the coup that has occurred. And why in Africa today, people like David Sengeh, these are the reasons. Because these guys have failed the social construct. They failed the social contract that they had with the people. People like David Sengeh would rather, lie to the international community, spread propaganda about what he's doing, when he's not actually doing that. But yet, teachers are not getting paid. They don't care. They say free education, but people are still paying in schools. Parents are suffering to pay for their kids. It is happening. But we saw what's happening in Guinea. And this is happening in Mali. It is happening in Senegal, where the people stood up. And there's going to be a spate of these coups in Africa. Because the military, like, Lionel Slima clearly said,
it is always the duty of the military to intervene to protect this constitution. And let me come, please. It is always the duty of the military to intervene to protect this constitution. And let me come, please.
Thank you.